welcome to Intuition to Income. This is Abby Gooch, and I'm here today with Sonia de Bueno, and she is in the Dominican Republic, and I'm so excited because I was telling her just yesterday. I was in LA and met somebody that was going there, so I love how intuitively we're always guided, like right before something's going to happen. Like our intuition just already knows. It's on that path. So intuition is just obviously my greatest, passion and mission on this planet. So that's why I wanted to invite Sonia today to talk about her experience of following her intuition and also help all of us awaken even a higher level of ours. So Sonia, if you want to introduce yourself, please go for it.
My name is Sonia Bueno de la Torre, and even though I'm in the Dominican Republic and I have a Spanish name, that's not where I come from. I am from Spanish descent, but that's just where I am right now. And when it comes to intuition or inner work or like the whole spectrum of personal and transformation and healing, my story comes from a place of not trusting myself, not liking myself, always doubting myself, not feeling good in my body, struggling from severe depression. So I'm sharing that with you because, there's a way of transformation to come from a place of not following your intuition at all to following your intuition. So it's not an overnight process. And why I'm so passionate about also helping like you people to, trust themselves more and trust their intuition is because that's ultimately also the journey of getting to know who you really are and to trusting your intuition and to follow your own lead, to follow your soul's calling and to be who you are authentically in the world. And I'm so passionate about helping specifically women do that because I come from a very painful and very struggling background until I made the decision to really change that. And so that's really super little bit in a nutshell of what I do.
Well, I would love to hear your story because that's why I bring people on it. I think that, to be transparent and real, we can all relate, and it's like, there's also different times in our lives, right? Like sometimes like it might have been really easy to trust and then something could happen and then it like, kind of shakes your foundation and you have to learn another level. So I'm getting chills when I say it. I would love to hear your story.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, happy to. I'm not going to say the whole story, otherwise it's going to take an hour, but really the basics of it. When I grew up, I felt already like something was wrong with me. I felt like I was not good enough. I was comparing myself, even young, like before I even became a teenager. And I had this nagging feeling of I don't belong. Something is wrong with me. And when I was getting older and I grew up, it didn't get better, it actually got worse. And I remember that when I was 14, I was already on my first diet because I thought I was fat and ugly. And for most of my life, Abby, like until I changed that and I started the journey, that was what I was feeling about myself, fat and ugly. And I'm sharing that also because it's so easy to look from outside and think, oh, she's beautiful, she's confident, what's her, she has gorgeous hair and all of that, right? And it's true. And I can see that now. And yet I felt fat and ugly, highly depressed, not good enough. And there were moments in my life, if I'm really honest, that I was thinking of taking my life away because I was in such emotional pain and I didn't feel like I had someone that was really understanding me or seeing me. And I remember the day actually when I made the decision to do something about it. And it was 20 years ago, actually. I was 26 years old. I was in Thailand on a beautiful beach. So funny now, the Synchronicity Beach, ocean. But
I know, I'm like, which one was it? I spent a lot of
time.
time.
Small island, looking at the ocean, and I saw the beach. I saw the blue sky, the palm trees. I was sitting there in my bathing suit. My boyfriend at the time that I was with them, he was walking a little bit further away. So I was sitting there by myself and I was thinking, this should be the most beautiful and the most romantic day of my life. And the one thing that I was thinking, the only thing that I was really feeling was how bad I was feeling about myself. And in that moment, sitting there, I made the decision to do whatever it takes to love myself and to make a change. Or because I knew either I do that or I die. And I didn't believe back then that it was possible. I didn't know how, but that was my turning point of really going on a quest, on a journey, because I knew there had to be something different. And well, I've been doing inner works for 20 years now and longer. So, that's where really my passion comes from. And to help women to connect to their soul, to their intuition, to their love, to their self-love, and to also make a difference in the world, because I think we are here to really make a difference in the world. And we can only do that when we are connected with who we actually are. So it's
So true. I love it. I love it. I don't have anything to say. I just love it. And I just want to say thank you. It's just a great reflection. And I think that, yeah, it's so easy to look on the outside, have this perfect life, everything, but I've struggled with the same things. And so I love that you said decision, because I feel like that is our power. And sometimes we can be afraid of it. I know for me, it's like, oh my gosh, that is so much power, but to use it for good. Like my mom has said, the greatest power is love, right? So to choose to live who you are by loving yourself, you're going to be in alignment.
Yeah, and it is scary. I totally agree. A decision, the decision is the most important thing. Because not even because sometimes people think, oh, you have to believe. I didn't believe, but I had a commitment and I had a decision. And I was very scared so many times. So I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So you talk about service, which is one of the other things I love. So as you followed your intuition, how have you seen it naturally serving other people? Just as you said, by bubbling over, being you.
Oh, that's a great question. First of all, I think that when we work on ourselves, when we open up to intuition and we allow ourselves to be guided by it, that's already how we serve and are in contribution to the planet. Because it's the more we do that, the more light we bring into this world, and every one of us is an individual light. So I think that's super important, because a lot of people sometimes think, oh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not making a big enough impact. I should do this. I should do that. Now, if you do that internal work, you are making a huge difference. So I just wanted to say that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I see, what really contributed or how I could serve by that is because through me allowing myself to do that, it automatically or unconsciously invites others to do the same. And even if they don't know how, they see, hey, it's possible. It is actually not only possible, it's so rewarding. It's so much freedom, so much joy, and so much love when you live from a place of intuition and guidance versus just being in your own drama story. So one of the things is important, I think, is that we stay honest and transparent. My life is not perfect. I have a pretty good life. I mean, I have days when I wake up and I feel like crap. I have days when I'm scared because I'm just embarking in something new. I constantly go out of my comfort zone. And I went through a Category 5 hurricane this year. I lost a good friend that passed away. I go through everything that everyone else does. So I'm sharing this because it's not about what happens in your life, because life happens. It's about how you deal with it and who are you being and from which state of being and which energy are you while you're going through that. And that's the beautiful and the peaceful and the part of freedom. Freedom is very important to me. I say that a lot. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. I went a little sideways.
Yeah. No, it's helpful. It's very helpful. It absolutely does. I keep coming back to the decision to love yourself. And, for me, and I know a lot of other people, there's beliefs like I was told I was selfish growing up to love myself. So how do you help somebody break through what they've been told that's probably not true? Because I've learned if I don't take care of myself, I was very similar to where you were. It was very hard. I couldn't maintain anymore.
I love that, Abby. It's just so like I hear that so often, like to love yourself as selfish. And I mean, I could talk for hours even only on this one thing. First of all is everything we do is selfish. I'm saying that like everything. Why? Because it's like everything is about us surviving, and anything we do is to a certain extent selfish. I personally don't have a negative annotation with that. Selfishness is important, right? So just having said that, to be selfish is not something bad. What I hear often, what people are afraid of is like, oh, you might only be thinking about yourself. You're just greedy. You're arrogant. You don't take care of anyone else anymore. You are kind of like just, you are the center of the universe and no one else matters. That's not at all what this is about. And if you're not selfish, if you, let's say you hate yourself, okay? You play small. You hide your light. You don't share your gifts in the world. I think that's very selfish too. You're not contributing. You're not serving. So being selfish is a crucial piece of you actually taking care of yourself and taking yourself important enough so that you can make a bigger impact, and then you can care, that you can take care of someone else better. Give you an example. And we women, we are so typical for that. Like so many women, like we give. No, I don't need anything in return. We give, but we expect something in return. We don't get it. We resent. Not consciously, but it comes out in different ways.
Right.
So that's a good piece of, that's not a healthy balance, and that's not a healthy way to deal in relationships. If you give too much and you're not able to receive and hold boundaries, you lose center. You lose yourself, and you are not in an intuitive space. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does. I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling it in my gut and my intuition, and just kind of reflecting and just feeling into it. Because boundaries is an interesting subject as well, right? To take care of yourself, but not push out another. I think there's a balance with boundaries, you know?
Totally. And boundaries is such a great topic as well. But, you know, there's such a fine line. Like I say, if someone is busy with thinking about that self-love might be selfish, you are still busy with some beliefs, with some fears and stuff that is not about you and serving. You're busy with your own story. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental way, because I've been there for years, right? So as long as you actually have that question, you are not in self-love, and you are in and programming that is preventing you from actually serving others.
Mm-hmm.
And to really create that space around you that you can hold space. If you don't set boundaries, if you're not able to hold space for yourself, you are not able to hold space for anyone, really. And for women in particular, oh my God, we could talk for hours. I can see that already. And for women in particular, especially growing up young women, and I've been one of them as well, like you've been, like if we don't learn early to say no, to keep our boundaries, to take care of ourselves, we're going to be victims. And it doesn't have to be necessarily be always physically, but emotionally, or, you know, you might be in an abusive relationship, or you feel like you're not good enough, or everybody else's opinion is more important. There's so many crucial pieces about you being in your own power, and with that power going out and helping others to do the same. Mm-hmm. So, and people don't have to agree with me, obviously, right? That's just my experience. And in order to really become an empowered but authentic and vulnerable and intuitive woman, you do need to take care of yourself and to put yourself first sometimes, so that you can recharge and that you stay in center, so that you don't lose yourself and your energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm just hearing the word shine your light, you know, like staying connected, and then in that light you can shine it. It's natural. It's very cool. I love it. So I know you have a free gift on self-love you were telling me before we got on. Do you want to share that link with people so they can start to make that choice for themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a guided self-love meditation. It's called My Gift of Love. And it was really, it was coming from my higher intuition and my higher purpose. So it carries a higher frequency of love. And it's a beautiful way to start your day and to connect more with self-love and also connect to your higher calling as well, because it is an energy-based meditation. So I always recommend for people to sit instead of lying down so that the energy can flow vertically.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything is energy. I can even feel it. Like it's so in my system in the meanwhile. It's like when you are centered and you're vertical, like you are the eye in the storm versus being like shaken all over the place. Yeah. And you can find that meditation on mygiftoflove.net. Not .com. I have no idea where you're going to land there, but it's not going to be me. So mygiftoflove.net. So, and I also offer the script of the poem because it starts with the poem, My Gift of Love, and 21-day meditation challenge invitation.
How fun. Very cool. Awesome. So I recommend everybody check that out. And Sonia, also, how have you seen your income grow as you followed your intuition?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question too. And especially because when you, that's a great question. I have to tune into that for a moment. Yeah. My experience, and of course it all comes back to energy again, but as long as I'm in following my intuition, and I really truly follow my intuition, things unfold naturally. I mean, it's like if I'm not worried about, oh, where's going to have my next client and how much money am I earning and I have to do this. And I've been there too. So again, like I'm sharing everything. When I truly stay in my intuition, everything unfolds and everything grows. So my income and my clients. I didn't focus on that necessarily. Of course, I have a business and, part of this, I think the more financially free we are, the bigger impact we can make, because it's not about the money, it's about the experience and the opportunity and what we can give. I don't know who said that. I think I had once an interview with Joe Vitale and he said something, money is a tool for appreciation. And I liked that. It was like, instead of, hey, it's about getting and having, it's like the more I can give, the more appreciation I can show. So if you really follow your intuition, you don't have to worry about money. That's what I'm saying.
And I love
your experience. I would be really curious to hear too.
Yeah, I can share with you. And I just want to reflect what you said. You said stay in your intuition. So it's like it's a coming back home, which I actually describe intuition as. It's coming back home to yourself. So to stay there. So it feels like life, like you said, happens and we can feel off kilter. And at any moment, we can always get back on. Because the truth is the path is always love. And that's what your intuition is guiding you to. So that's why when you stay in your center, it unfolds. My intuition followed me. I followed it very young. I felt it. But when I was 19, my intuition guided me to leave a scholarship. And so I left college and I started a business. And so I trusted it so much moment by moment and watched it unfold. And that's why I teach it now, is because it literally will provide the next step, the next person, the next place. It's like magic, and it's so fun.
It works out.
Right. It always does. So it's like, I do love what you said though about, loving yourself, because that puts you in the frequency to receive it. And automatically, you deserve it. You're worth it because you understand your love. So when you make the choice to love yourself, you're a perfect match for your intuition. So, and the truth is when you're connected to your intuition, truly those beliefs and perceptions, they leave you because your intuition's more powerful. You can notice them and you can transform them, but you're so connected to truth within you that they do not faze you anymore.
Yeah.
So.
And I also want to add something also with the question about selfish and self-love and all that. But I'm going to share a little bit what self-love means to me, right? Because it's not about indulging and looking in the mirror and saying, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. I'm so beautiful. No. It's being connected and knowing and being in touch with the essence of your being.
The essence of your being?
Yeah, the essence of your being. And when you are in touch with the essence of your being, you cannot not love it because it's beautiful, it's divine, precious. It has nothing, like it's so pure, and it's a state of being. When you have that state of being, you are not this, you're not that, you just simply are in being energy, and you don't have the need to, you don't need approval, you don't need to hear how great you are, because you know, and you don't have to show out there. Like when someone is out there and says, hey, I'm so great, and you feel like someone is very arrogant on the outside, that's just a sense of a lack of self-worth inside. They're actually in pain. And instead of judging it, you could look at it with compassion and say, hey, this person is actually not in real self-love, because there's a hole that needs to be filled, and we are looking on the outside to fill that hole. Mm-hmm. But we are already whole. We just, the work basically, and to get back into intuition, is to shed off the layers, to peel off the layers that are preventing you from truly seeing who you are, not the other way around. So you have intuition. You came with it to this world. You have self-love. You are love. It's already in you. So in a sense, it has nothing to do with selfishness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was peeling back the layer, like as you're saying it, and I realized it was judgment. So it was actually the judgment of the person that hurt me. So that would be an approval thing, right? Like you said, I mean, even as a 12-year-old kid, we all want to be approved of, but to, remember wholeness and then fill ourselves up with our own love. I think it's a practice, but it's true. It's like I say, intuition is innate. So is self-love. Like a baby's born loving itself. It doesn't know not to, like our bodies are constantly loving us. I mean, they're operating on their own, So, yeah, I agree with you.
I love, just as an example, I love what you just said with, babies or whatever. It's like, yeah. When you were a baby, or whoever's watching or listening, it's like, we are not in our baby body looking at other babies and thinking, oh my God, I'm fat, or look at her, look at him. We don't do that yet.
Right.
And I could dive deeper into that, but that's why transformation doesn't happen overnight, because it's not only that simple. However, we grow up with those voices and with those judgments, and we get hurt. And one thing to really deal with that in a good way is when we get hurt, like if we feel judged. I say when we feel judged, doesn't matter if someone really judges us or not. We often feel judged. They didn't even judge us. We feel judged. So, and I think one of the things when it comes to intuition as well is when we take responsibility and own our feeling, is when you also are closer to your intuition. Instead of saying, oh, you hurt me. No, I'm hurt. I might have been triggered by the person doing or saying something. However, as long as I own it and take responsibility, I'm staying in my power, and I don't give my power away. Because when we blame it on someone else, it's like, oh, I can't do anything about it. But we all get hurt. We all feel angry sometimes. We all feel sad sometimes. We all, we are all everything. We are humans, whole spectrum, spiritual beings. So to really own and take responsibility and hold space for your own inner feelings helps also to really stay in touch with your truth, stay in touch with your intuition.
Can you explain that a little bit more? So basically you're listening to your own feelings, but in response to somebody else. Can you go a little bit deeper with that?
Absolutely. And again, this is something, hey, it took me many years. I'm still working on it. So it sounds simple, but I'm sharing it because it's one of the most powerful transformations that you can have when you stop looking on the outside and you turn inside. For example, I don't know, even if, let's say, someone directly judges you, okay? I'm just gonna, usually it does happen, but it's often more an internal process. So you are somewhere and someone tells you, oh my God, your hair looks like shit today. It doesn't matter. I'm just coming up with some random stuff. So it hurts, right? And you would think, oh, how can you say that? And this person hurt me. This person is so mean. This person is so judgmental, right? We are in that focusing on the outside judging actually as well. Like we are judging that this person is judging. So we are doing the same thing. So and instead of staying caught up in this, you take a breath and you go inside and you say, this hurts. You own it. It's like, wow, this is hurtful. To hear that, that hurts. And you take responsibility and you feel it in your body and you own that this is your feeling. You are feeling hurt. Because someone else might hear it and say, well, I don't care. It doesn't hurt me at all. Mm-hmm. But someone might say, hey, you're short, or whatever your trigger point is. I'm pretty short. Never had an issue with it. But with body weight, always had an issue. So if someone would have looked at me and said, oh my God, you gained weight, I would have been crushed, shamed. Like so it's your trigger, it's your wounding. And on the positive side, on the possibility side, when you feel hurt and you get triggered and you look inside, it's an opportunity for you to heal a layer that's still not healed. Because just because someone doesn't like anything about you, it says nothing to do with who you are. And when you own your feeling and you are honest with the fact that, you know what, it hurts and I'm angry because it triggers the feeling that I'm not good enough. And that's why I blame it on you. But as long as I keep blaming it on this person, I cannot go deep and heal the wound. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how do you heal the wound? I mean, I kind of know in my heart. I just want to ask the question because I feel like you're guiding us through a process really So how do you heal the wound?
There's not one answer just for that question because it really depends on the person. It depends on where the wound is sitting, what is involved in it, how many layers are involved with it. But the simple answer is you do the inner work. You do the inner work and you go through processes where I'm an energy worker. So I work very holistically. It's not a mental process because you understand you don't need to be hurt.
Okay.
Are you still hurt? Yeah. So it sits somewhere energetically in your body, and you also heal that by going back to the origin. It starts very early in our childhood. It often, a lot of our wounds and programming happen before the age of 5, before we are verbal, before we can communicate. So everything is energetically. We absorb, we perceive a certain way, and we make our own story out of it. So basically you do the deeper inner work to heal those layers and to dive deeper into looking where is it actually coming from. And to be honest, I mean, I don't know you, but like deep inner work, we have blind spots to ourselves. I would have not been able to, and I would not be where I am if I wouldn't have had that support from the people that I've been working with for over 20 years now. So I do believe that if you're really struggling and you are looking for deep inner transformation, that you will need to find help to do that because you are not going to get to as deep as someone else who can guide you there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's not a place you want to go alone, or really can, because you're just kind of in your own head. And what I was feeling is just giving love, like even as you were talking, just noticing areas like, oh, that in my body kind of hurts. Okay, give it love, just even to start, just to fill it with love and become aware of it. Right before here, I did our weekly little meditation and I was drumming and I was saying, let the drum wake up your body to the vibrations in your body. They're calling out to you. And then give it love because there's messages there for you, So simple things like that, just listening to ourselves and tuning in.
Yeah, that's, again, an aspect of self-love. It's accepting that hurt. Sonia, I love what you just said. It's really about owning in means also accepting what is with love and compassion. Yeah, totally agree.
I love that. I just love you. This is fun. I could talk for a while. I'm like, what time is it? Is there anything else that you want to add or share with our audience about self-love, intuition, about yourself, about where you are right now in the Dominican Republic?
Oh gosh, I could say so much. And at the same time, I think the one thing that I want to say is wherever you are in your life, You know, it's just where you are because of a reason, for a reason. And you are just perfect where you are. And your next step is closer than what you think. And if you have a deeper calling, if you feel like there's more, if you feel like there's something missing, be courageous, make a decision, make a commitment, ask for help, and let yourself be guided to become the most beautiful and the most powerful and the most authentic and the most intuitive woman or man that you can be. And this is what the world needs. Just creating a movement together to bring more love and light onto this planet. So I'm just inviting you from one light worker to the other. You know, like join our quest.
Absolutely.
Do the inner work.
And then let your light shine, baby. That's awesome.
No detour. There's no quick fix, you know, like, and it's so worth it. So just go for it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so, so much, Sonia. And if you want to just, again, say the website where people can go to just follow you and stay connected. You can also learn more about us at intuition2incomesummit.com. So you'll see all the speakers, or lifeforceconnection.com. So Sonia, back to you.
Yes. So the meditation, you can get it at mygiftoflove.net. And you can sign up for free. And I also have a weekly show on Facebook called the Soul Infused Monday Show, every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Welcome to join me. Just Google my name on Facebook. There's only one, Sonia Bueno de la Torre. But yeah, I highly recommend listen to that meditation to really tap into a deeper feeling of love and the essence of who you are.
It's beautiful. Wow. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Sonia. Thank everybody else for being here and showing up for you. And wow, I love the new reframe around selfishness. It's actually self-love. Self-love is what serves the world, right, Sonia?
You're so welcome, and I feel honored, and it was a pleasure. And I think it's fantastic what you're doing. So thank you for having me. Absolutely.
You're so welcome. All right. Bye, everyone.
Love.